The pressure points aimed at our civil liberties are not to be underestimated. Much of it, however, is couched in the language of fear used by the corporate media and the government, which produces in the population, many of us, a clamoring for security over our freedoms. The language of fear is also couched in what I'm calling a government paranoia. For example, in March 2012, a defense contractor agreed to produce 450 million hollow point rounds to be used by the Department of Homeland Security and its Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office. The Department of Homeland Security also placed another order for 750 million rounds of various ammunition in August 2012. This is just the tip of the iceberg in the total militarization of the government. Consider that in August 2012, the Social Security Administration, believe it or not, placed an order for 174,000 rounds of hollow point ammunition that they're going to send to some 41 locations around the United States. Believe it or not, Department of Homeland Security and the Social Security Administration aren't the only agencies beefing up their ammo stockpiles. In August 2012, believe it or not, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which houses the National Weather Service, requested 46,000 hollow point bullets to be sent to locations in Maine, Massachusetts, and other states across the country. If you don't understand the nature of hollow point bullets, you do need to understand the nature of hollow point bullets. They're not normal bullets. They're hollowed out in the tip, and when they hit the flesh, they collect flesh. In other words, if you're shot in the chest with a hollow point bullet, it collects all the flesh and creates a huge hole in the back of your body. You're dead, in other words. Hollow point bullets are normally used by assassins to shoot people in the head because you die immediately. Your arm will fly off if a hollow point bullet hits you. The question is, why does the Department of Homeland Security, the Weather Service, Social Security Administration, what do they need hollow point bullets for? What are they expecting? Then there's the National Defense Authorization Act, signed by President Obama into law, which allows the military to arrive at your door if you're an enemy combatant labeled by the president or a terrorist. Even though you're an American citizen, you can be taken away, put in a prison, and you can be made to disappear. All of this flows into a concern over veterans returning from our foreign wars. In 2009, the Department of Homeland Security issued two memos, right-wing extremism and left-wing extremism. In the right-wing extremism memo, Janet Napolitano, head of the Department of Homeland Security, identified different groups as being extremists and people that need to be watched, and even implied they may be terrorists. And one of those groups was returning American military veterans. Then when we found out a little later about Operation Vigilant Eagle, which is an official government program of the United States government to watch veterans returning from overseas. This fed into an incredible case that we got involved here with at the Rutherford Institute. It was the case of Brandon Robb, a two-time veteran, decorated Marine veteran, who on August 16th, 2012, was in his home resting. He hears vehicles drive up on his driveway and up on his lawn, about 14 or 15 vehicles. He walks to the front door and looks out and sees all these police running up. He opens the door and immediately he sees badges and people identifying themselves as Department of Homeland Security agents, Secret Service, FBI, and they questioned him about certain Facebook posts that he supposedly made. He was quoting a rap group and playing a private Facebook game, which somehow the FBI got into and saw. And they said they were very concerned about his post. This is his First Amendment right, by the way, to speak out if he doesn't agree. And he doesn't agree with much of what the United States government is doing. They asked him to step out. He stepped down his front porch, and he was immediately arrested, thrown into the back of a police car, taken to a police station, never charged, then taken to a mental hospital where there was a short hearing, and he was committed to a mental hospital. His mother contacted us, and we got a legal team when we finally got him out of jail in this prison he was in, where psychiatrists were talking to him, trying to give him drugs. One psychiatrist even said he was going to brainwashing. What we found out later as we looked into this case, though, there are in Virginia alone 20,000 of these civil commitments each year where people are arrested, taken and put in mental hospitals, and they basically disappear. And there's about 1.5 million occurring across the United States every year, where people's civil liberties are lost. They don't have lawyers from the Rutherford Institute or anywhere, and they just disappear. So we've reached a very strange time in our history where our civil liberties, if you speak out, you disagree with the government. And reading those two memos from Janet Napolitano at the Department of Homeland Security, right-wing extremism and left-wing extremism, what it said to me is, as I was looking at them, is that if you disagree with the government, you become an enemy of the government, and you can actually be civilly committed if they want to accuse you of being mentally ill because you disagree with the government. Incredible. But again, this has happened. It's government paranoia, and it's direly affecting our civil liberties.